My name's Daniel. I'm 52, a construction contractor out of Ohio. I'm not rich, not poor, just one of those guys who's worked his whole damn life, never asked for handouts, and thought I knew what family meant. I've got one daughter, Emily. She's 26, my pride and joy. I raised her alone after her mom walked out when she was 12. I'd pack her lunches, braid her hair with shaky hands before school, and cheer her on at soccer games, even if I didn't understand half the rules. So when she told me she was engaged last year, I was over the moon. The guy's name was Jason Polished, Ivy League smile, the kind of man you'd expect on some LinkedIn success post. He worked in finance, wore expensive suits that looked like they were cut from a different world than mine. I didn't care about that. All I wanted was for Emily to be happy. She said he made her laugh, said he was ambitious. Fine. I was in. Then came the wedding plans. They wanted it big. Not big like backyard tents and barbecue. No, this was the kind of wedding that belonged in glossy magazines. A 4-day event in a luxury hotel, destination catering, a guest list stacked with his colleagues, his partners, his network. The budget? $200,000. Now, I don't have that kind of money lying around, but Emily came to me with those pleading eyes, the same eyes that once asked me to buy her a prom dress when I barely had rent. She said, "Dad, you're the only one I can rely on." So, I signed. Loan after loan. I told myself it was worth it. After all, what's money compared to watching your little girl walk down the aisle, right? But as the date got closer, something started to itch in the back of my head. Jason never looked me in the eye. He made jokes at my expense. Blue-collar wisdom, he called it. His family barely acknowledged me. And Emily? She started parroting his tone. Little digs, small remarks that stung more than they should. I brushed it off. Maybe I was overthinking. Maybe weddings made people tense. But then came the night before, and that's when everything shattered. We were at the rehearsal dinner, a fancy rooftop setup, champagne glasses lined like soldiers. Everyone looked sharp, rehearsed, artificial. Jason pulled me aside, his arm heavy on my shoulder like we were old friends. His smile never touched his eyes. "Dan," he said, "listen, tomorrow we really want the vibe to be elevated. You know, important people, polished crowd, the board members, the investors, the clients. It's kind of a networking thing as much as a wedding." I frowned. "Yeah, and?" He leaned in, lowering his voice. "I just think it might be better if you stayed in the background. You know, not front and center. We don't want to send the wrong message. I thought I misheard." "The wrong message?" He gave this little laugh. "Come on, man. You're a great guy, but let's be real. Construction boots, small-town manners, not exactly the image we're going for." Emily agrees. "We want only important people up close tomorrow." You understand, my stomach turned to stone. "My daughter." My Emily agreed? I said, "You mean to tell me, after I put my life savings into this circus, you don't even want me at the table?" He shrugged, casual as hell. "It's for the best. You'll still be there, just invisible, like in the back. Trust me, it'll make Emily's day smoother." I walked out of that rooftop with my ears ringing. Invisible, that's what I was to them. A wallet with calloused hands. I thought that was the worst of it. But I was wrong. I got back to my hotel room, shut the door, and stared at the suit I bought for the wedding. It wasn't designer, just a decent black suit from a local shop. I bought it with pride, thinking my daughter would smile when she saw me in it. Now it looked like a clown costume. I paced the room, every memory hitting me like a hammer. The years of scraped knees I patched, the nights I skipped meals so she could eat, the times I lied and said I wasn't hungry so she'd finish the last slice of pizza. And now, She and that smug bastard were erasing me like I was nothing, invisible. If you've ever felt betrayal like this, tell me in the comments, because stories like these, they hit way too close to home. That night, something broke in me, and something new took its place. I didn't sleep. I sat by the window, watching the city lights flicker like a warning. By sunrise, I wasn't the same man. I wasn't Daniel the construction worker, Daniel the father, Daniel the fool who signed away his future. I was something else. If they wanted important people at their perfect wedding, fine. I'd give them a show they'd never forget. Step 1 was simple. Access. I knew every detail of that venue. Why? Because I'd written the damn checks. I had the invoices, the contracts, the security codes forwarded to my email. While Jason flexed his credit cards, I was the one wiring money. That meant I was the backbone of the whole operation, and they didn't even realize it. I called the bank, froze the final payment for the venue. Without it, they wouldn't unlock the ballroom. Then I called the caterer, posing as Jason, and politely canceled the midnight delivery for the dessert spread. Next, I went to the hotel manager, showed him the contract, highlighted the clause that said any changes require my signature, too. Guess what? There were a lot of changes they hadn't cleared with me, which meant, legally, I had the right to pull the plug. By noon, chaos had started brewing, staff running back and forth, vendors panicking, Jason on the phone screaming into the void. And me? I sat in the corner of the lobby, sipping coffee, invisible, just the way they wanted. But the crown jewel was still waiting. See that 200,000? It wasn't just loans. I'd funneled part of it into a trust one Emily didn't know about. And as of that morning, that trust had been redirected. Not to her, not to Jason, but to me. Every dollar they thought was theirs, gone. At 3 o'clock, Jason stormed over, red-faced. "What the hell did you do?" I smiled. "I thought you wanted me invisible. If my plan failed, I'd lose everything. But if it worked, oh, if it worked, they'd remember me for the rest of their lives. If you're still here, you're my kind of person. Hit like, and let's go deeper into the plan." 4 o'clock. Guests started arriving. Women in gowns that cost more than my truck. Men in tuxedos so stiff they could barely breathe. But the ballroom doors were locked. No music, no champagne, no fairy tale setting. Just angry murmurs and confusion. Jason tried to bluff. Told everyone there was a minor delay. His parents were mortified, whispering behind their hands. Emily? She looked pale, panicked, like she was realizing, maybe for the first time, that marrying a man like him meant inheriting his cracks, too. Then the hotel staff rolled in with carts. Not champagne, not canapes, boxes, cardboard boxes filled with every unpaid invoice, every bounced check, every frozen payment. I'd arranged it. One by one, vendors dropped bills on the pristine white tablecloths. $200,000 of dirty laundry laid bare in front of their important people. The guests started leaving, investors shaking their heads, colleagues muttering about poor judgment, Jason's empire, his reputation, his polished mask all crumbling in real time. And me, I stood by the exit, watching it burn. That should have been enough. But then came the twist. Emily found me outside, tears streaming. She grabbed my arm. "Dad, please, you have to fix this. He's ruined, and so am I. What will people think of me?" That's when it hit me. She wasn't crying because of what he'd done. She wasn't crying because of how he humiliated me. She was crying because her image was ruined. She had been in on it all along. Every dig, every dismissal, every demand for more money. It wasn't just Jason. It was her. My little girl, the one I thought I raised better. And that's when I realized the truth. I hadn't destroyed Jason's wedding. I had destroyed hers. The next morning, I checked out of the hotel. Jason's family was already gone, dragging their suitcases like defeated soldiers. Emily didn't call me. She didn't text. For all I know, she never will again. But I felt nothing. No guilt, no regret. Only clarity. Revenge doesn't give you back what you lost. It doesn't heal. What it does is show you who people really are when the masks slip. I thought I raised a daughter who valued love over status. Turns out I raised someone who saw me as a stepping stone. Justice was served, but not in the way I imagined.